Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Let's Play Paper Mario. I'm your host today, SilentSenior09. Last time we left off, Princess Peach baked for Gourmet Guy, got some information about this island called Lava Lava Island, and about a piranha called Lava Lava Piranha, who's apparently guarding the next star spirit. But as y'all know me, I burp a lot, yes, and I also like doing side quest stuff. And since I kind of didn't do any side quest stuff after Chapter 3, I said, screw it, let's just jump into Chapter 4. We have a lot of catch-up to do, but I'm going to try and break these down into parts that make sense, so that way it's not quite so overwhelming. Today we're going to be cooking, and that is all we're going to do, because there's a crap ton of recipes we have just opened up. Both because, A, we got a frying pan back, and she's got a cookbook, so now she knows how to cook with 2 ingredients at a time. Gasp. So, let's get this started, baby. Okay, so for these first bits, we're going to be focusing on cake mix recipes. There are at least a dozen recipes that we have access to, as of this point, that we can make them. So with a cake mix and a Volt Shroom, we can cook and make an Electro Pop! Yay! By eating this, we get 15 FP. Sweet. Next up, if we give a cake mix and a mushroom, we get a shroom cake! Sweet! And with this, we get 10 HP and 10 FP. Ooh, very nice. I don't know if I'd go for that cake unless that purple shroom is not poisonous. Because, I mean, I'm just saying, past games have taught me otherwise. So, a cake mix and a lime. Not to be confused by putting the lime in the coconut. If we mix a cake mix and a lime together, we get lime candy, which restores 20 FP. Sweet. Actually, it's probably sour now that I think about it. First they're sour, then they're sweet. Next up, cake mix plus a honey syrup. If we put these together, these sweet, sticky ingredients, we get honey candy. That's gotta be good for the throat. Next on our baking list with cake mix is cake mix and a lemon. Ooh. Why do I get lemon candy? Because I've declared it so. And because of my terrible impression of a past video I once watched, we get lemon candy for doing that. And unlike the lime candy and the honey candy, this one restores 5 HP and 15 FP. Real quick! A little bit of a side note you may want to keep in mind, especially if you're a person who's not a great fighter in this game. Y'all remember the anti-shy guy? The deadly guy? Are you sure you want to fight? Yep, let's do it. What? Well, alright. I do love a challenge, heart. Here it comes, pal. Don't say I didn't warn you. If you give him a lemon candy, you can bypass that fight completely, and he will let you have whatever's in that chest, which is a Power Plus badge back in Shy Guy's Toy Box. Just a little FYI, since I never really did mention it, I made a hint as to say, oh, there's another way you can actually open this chest. But I wanted to take time to mention this now. This lemon candy could actually help you get through that. And more fun with cake mix plus an apple. If we put these together in a pot and stew it for a little bit, we get an apple pie. Probably not as good as McDonald's morning apple pies, but they're still it's pretty close. A close second, anyway. Cake mix plus a Koopa leaf, which is rather odd if you think about it, putting a leaf in a cake mix, but hey, this game says it makes something delish. And that something delish is a cookie, or cookie if you prefer, you know, cookie twice. If Mario eats this, he has a chance of being coated in electricity, made transparent, or he may actually be put to sleep. But, at the price of that, he will gain 15 flower points. Following the cake mix train, because we can't get enough of this cake mix, if we mix a cake mix plus a goom nut together, we will get dun-da-da-da!
All done. It smells delicious, heart. Oh, here, please, heart.
We get a big cookie, which restores 20 FP. Sorry, I figured I'd take time to read that bit of her dialogue, because sometimes she'll say, it's not too bad, and then sometimes she'll say, oh, this smells delicious and heavenly. which I guess is her way of saying this is one of my better recipes. And as if it weren't hot enough in here already, if we mix a cake mix plus a fire flour, put them together, and we're gonna make ourselves something extra spicy and steamy. Ooh. Fire pop for the win! For eating this, we restore 20 FP, but at the cost of 1 HP point. So if you're down to your last HP point, I don't recommend eating this spicy lollipop. Continuing with our making bacon strategies here, if we cook a cake mix and a strange leaf, and in case you forgot where we got a strange leaf, if you go to Boo's mansion just outside Check the Bushes, you'll find your strange leaves right there. We get strange cake! This looks like something that some gooey monster put together, but if Mario eats this, he has a chance of being coated in electricity, made transparent, or put to sleep. It's a lot like the cookie, except it doesn't restore FP. And with another cake mix plus another ingredient, in this case we're going to use life shroom, so cake mix plus life shroom, put that together and fuse it, and we get a sweet shroom cake! Although it just says sweet shroom. For this, it restores 30 HP and 20 FP. Now that's some delicious cake, just saying. And at long last, the final cake mix recipe, strangely enough, that we have to make is a cake mix by itself. And I haven't shown this yet. If you want to cook with just one ingredient, you have to tell her no when she asks, would you like to cook with another ingredient? And then she's going to confirm, like, just cook with that, and you're like, yeah, go ahead. And I already mentioned what exactly you get for this, but in case you didn't catch that episode, make a cake mix, you get yourself just a cake with 15 FP for a restoration item. This is the very last and final cake mix based ingredient thing that we're going to have to deal with. Thank gosh. And if you're wondering, if you're trying to keep count, yeah, that was about a dozen. That's 12 recipes with cake mix, and it doesn't stop there, unfortunately, but that's, right now, that's all we can do. So now we're going to start making some other odds and ends of recipes that I jotted down that we have the ability to do. Some of them I'm going to caution you are going to be really stupid, as in you can buy these items, and some of these are just, wow, really? For example, this first one, if you mix an egg plus 1 strange leaf, put these together, nice and delicious like. We probably boiled the egg with a strange leaf. We get a boiled egg, which restores 8 HP and 8 FP. Kind of a nice balance. It's a smaller, on the smaller end scale of restoring items, but hey, still pretty cool. Next up on our double item mixing batter funness, we mix together a Koopa leaf and, excuse my and there, sorry, my throat was clearing apparently, a Goom Nut. Put these two together, which actually sounds like it would go together, because I mean, you got one from one village and one from another. Put it together, you probably get something delicious, but just wait and find out what you get. We get a bland meal, which honestly sounds very makes me very disinterested and sounds boring, but hey, 10 HP plus 10 FP? Not bad, plus it's a meal, so it's got all your veggies, your meats, and your starches, and just all the good stuff, all the good stuff. Okay, so these next 4 are going to be kind of repetitive and otherwise maybe a little obnoxious, but they're still pretty cool. If you mix a mushroom plus a honey syrup, you get a caramelized honey shroom, which restores 5 HP, 5 FP, which is basically a mushroom and a honey syrup combined together. Kinda nice to have it in one item. But wait, there's more. If you cook a mushroom, ooh, and a maple syrup, gasp! He's not, oh but he is. We get a caramelized maple super, which is 5 HP and 10 FP. Once again, just the 2 items combined into one. Very predictable how this next trend is going to start, but we're going to do it anyway. And if we decide to use a super shroom instead of a mushroom per se, And take that super mushroom, or super shroom, and coat it in a honey syrup. Caramelized honey super, 10 HP, 5 FP. Once again, it's just the two combined together. The trend doesn't end there either. Oh no, dear friends, it continues. If you coat together a super shroom and a deliciously delectable maple syrup, because they were just made to be made together in a caramelized fashion, we get a coated and delicious maple syrup, a maple super, which restores 10 HP and 10 FP. Oh, thank gosh. I wish we were done with that, but unfortunately there's more family trees to this mushroom delicious recipe that we're going to have to come back and do. But we don't have the ingredients for, so we can rest assured that we're done doing that little tidbit. Now for something much more entertaining. If we throw together a fire flower, that's 2 Fs, FF, not to be confused for Final Fantasy, hee, and an egg. I know, what? Spicy egg? Lava egg? What's going on? Ooh, you're in for a treat. We get an egg missile! It's an egg bomb made by Tayce T. Throw it to damage one enemy. This item will damage an enemy for 6 damage. Holy crap, who knew cooking could be so dangerous? A fun fact also, I suppose I should mention this, the game itself does tell you how to make this recipe. So if you're not with me at this point, don't panic, or if you get your friend next to you went to sleep, if you're like watching this together, you will eventually learn about this later. For now, on to more cooking. And after some last minute grinding, because I'm an idiot, I forgot to do that. Got the rest of the items I need for the recipes I wish to make. If we want to go ahead and make something really good, you're going to want to go ahead and put together a dried pasta, and the other dried item, dried fruit. If you've forgotten where the heck you get dried fruit from, you have to grind those off of pokies in the middle of the desert. There's like a % chance that we'll drop those, I don't know off the top of my head. But the best way to get those, if you're having trouble, put a first strike on, and just go to town on the pokies, and you will more than likely get your dried fruits that you need.
All done. It smells delicious, Heart. Here, please, Heart.
Yummy! Yay! So for putting together those two dried items, we get a yummy meal for 20 HP, 20 FP. Believe it or not, that is not the best type of meal we can get. But for now, that is the only meal we can make without doing some stupid grinding moves. Okay, so from here on out, these are items you can buy from shops. In other words, these are what I call kind of pointless, but they're technically part of, if you're trying to 100% collect all the Tayce T recipes, you have to actually make these. So, for putting together a Super Shroom and a Thunderbolt, mix these shockingly delicious items together. We get a mistake! Huh. Looks like I'm gonna have to do some more research. Okay, well, that's one way to get a mistake. There are actually a gajillion ways to get a mistake. It doesn't look very good. Yeah, it doesn't really. It kind of looks like somebody's leftovers thrown in the garbage, and then the extra flavor is just kind of thrown on the side there. Anytime you put a combination together that doesn't work, that will automatically create this. I'm gonna have to look up some research again, apparently, because I thought that was supposed to get me something else. But I digress. Let's move on. Hopefully, with better luck this time, if we put together a dried fruit, this is definitely a very popular item. I don't understand why it is, but it is. Dried fruit plus a Volt Shroom, as strange as it sounds.
Okay, all finished. I don't exactly know what it is, but sometimes experiments turn out to be great. Oh, here, please, hon.
We get a Thunder Rage for putting together those unusual items. Yay! The time it takes to grind for a dried fruit to make that. You probably could have saved yourself some time by just buying it at the shop. Next up on the weird scale of weirdom, if you put together a strange leaf plus, you guessed it, a dried fruit. Golly, I hate the fact they require so many of these. These are really hard to actually grind for. But for putting these two together, strange leaf plus a dried fruit, we get a fire flower! Yay! All that hard work of grinding for the dried fruit to get an item we could spend 10 coins to buy. Fantastic, isn't it? And finally, the last item on the list of kind of pointless recipes, but we gotta do it. If you take a strange leaf and cook the strange leaf by itself, no items whatsoever added to this lovely dish, we get a dizzy dial. Again, why? Just why? I mean, it's cool we can make these, but no, I don't. Just,
Alright, come back anytime, hun. I look forward to it hot.
With that, we have cooked everything that I wish to cook for you all. If you counted all together, including the mistake, which was supposed to be something else, but that's okay. At least now I know that's not going to work, and I'm going to have to do a little more research into that. We've made 24 items, which means we've cleared out 24 recipes on the list. That's a lot. I'm not going to deny it. That was, oh my gosh. And you don't even want to know the amount of prep time I had to take to grind for all those cake mixes, go back in the desert, and get the dried fruits. It's just, yeah. My first real problems aside. If you watched this entire cooking video, thank you so much for watching. Love you bunches. Please don't let your tails flap, and the next time we're going to do some more side quest stuff that hopefully doesn't make me cry on the inside. Oh, so much sadness, so much grinding, and so much... Oh gosh, why? Why? What? Why does this game have to make me have to work so hard? See y'all later.